What's up? How them people doing? Shout out to all my sirs, misters, ma'ams, and misses. Shout out to all my young sirs and misters and ma'ams and misses. You got some strength today. It's Monday. Hmm. Spread the love over the weekend. Hey, love is still a work in progress. Man. Maybe it's not about love. I mean, I'm gonna tell you why I say that in a minute. I got to read, right? Well, nah, I ain't even really get to reading though. A little verse came to my phone. I want to say John 12. Something about he who love his life shall die. And he who hates it. One that says something about should be granted immortality. Mm-hmm. So if you had anybody trying to make you hate your life, I guess it's nothing to really care about. I don't know, what you think? Would you rather have immortality to suffer or suffer to have immortality? I mean, you just gotta be here and hate your life, but you'll never die. Or would you rather love your life and die? Now, I also read having life is the greatest gift from God. So I don't know. Something to ponder on. Look, man, don't get me. I don't want to tread on that too. I don't want to come off as a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough one though. Just because you hate your life don't mean you can't have things that you love about it though. Am I tripping? Never know. Have you ever been down to the point where you felt like you hated your life? And you may have shared that with somebody? They trying to make you change your mind? What it really happened? Oh, if you told somebody that you hate your life, or you was acting like you hated your life, or you just felt that way, maybe it was just natural for you to feel that way. Maybe you was just one of the ones that's just supposed to be here and not die. But somebody came along and felt like, since you hate your life, I'll just take it from you. Is that an acting plan, God? In order for you to play God, you must know God. And God wouldn't do that to nobody, right? Maybe He gave you a life to hate, so you can be immortal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading something wrong. Is this even something I really supposed to be sharing with people? That's crazy. But I'm gonna read some. I'm gonna try to read. I'm gonna try to get through it real quick for you all. Cause it's a lot I stumbled across in my thoughts, in my research. Everybody seek money so they can love their life. Do unnatural things to get it. Unhealthy things, unwise things to get it. And what I just read and what I'm about to read to you, it kind of explains another thing. So I don't know if I'm saying this word right. Aramaic was that a language? So I was reading out the Sefer earlier, well, starting like last year or whatever, and that gives you the Bible in Hebrew or whatever. And as I've been reading and trying to piece everything together, the God, the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the name, back to the Sefer. They say how to pronounce God's name in the Sefer, Yahuwah. When you go to the Bible, you research the name of the God of the fathers, which is the ancestors, or some of us, or no, all of us. I'm not sure. I really ain't dig down in the. I'm just assuming, as far as like my DNA or whatever. I'm not sure. So, with the name, it's supposed to be Yahweh. But if you said and Aramaic, I think that's even different than Arabic. You know what I'm saying? But it say Yahoo, or you can say Aloho or Aloha. And then you want to say the Quran? We say Allah. No, no, just something I probably gotta go shopping up. Uh, I'm reading from the Book of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar dream, right? 2. Now, in the second year of Nebuchadnezzar reign, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams, and his spirit was so troubled that his sleep left him. Then the king gave command to call the magicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans to tell the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king, and the king said to them, I had a dream, and my spirit is anxious to know the dream. Then the Chaldeans spoke to the king in Aramaic. Aramaic, that's, O king, live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will give the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, my decision is firm. If you do not make me know the dream to me and its interpretation, you shall be cut in pieces, and your house shall be made into ash heap. However, if you tell the dream and its interpretations, you shall receive from me gifts, rewards, and great honor. Therefore tell me the dream and its interpretation. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will give the interpretation. King answered and said, I know for certain that you know that you will gain time, because you see that my decision is firm. If you do not make known to me the dream to me, if you do not make known the dream to me, there is only one decree for you. For you have agreed to speak lying and corrupt words before me till the time has changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can give me its interpretation. Um, the Chaldeans answered the king and said, there is not a man on earth who can tell the king's matter. Therefore, no king, lord, or ruler has ever asked such thing of any magician, astrologer, or Chaldean. It is a difficult thing that the king requests, and there is no other who can tell it to the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this reason, the king was angry and very furious, and gave the command to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. So the decree went out, and they began killing the wise men, and they sought Daniel and his companions to kill them. God reveals Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Then with counsel and wisdom Daniel answered Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, who has gone out to kill the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree from the king so urgent? Then Arioch made the decision known to Daniel. So Daniel went in and asked the king to give him time, that he might tell the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made a decision known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companion, that they might seek mercies from the God of heaven concerning the secret, so that Daniel and his companions might not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then the secret revealed to Daniel in the night vision. So Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, this way it get fire right here. Blessed be the name of God forever and ever. That hit. For wisdom and might are his, and he changes the time of the season. He removes kings and raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. He reveals deep and secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and light dwells with him. That's tough. I'm going to keep going, right? Daniel explains the dream. Therefore, Daniel went to Arioch, whom the king has appointed to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus to him, do not destroy the wise men of Babylon. Take me before the king, and I will tell the king the interpretation. Then Arioch quickly brought Daniel before the king and said thus to him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah, who will make known to the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, excuse me, are you able to make known to me the dream which I have seen and its interpretation? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king has demanded, the wise man, the astrologer, the magician, and the soothsayers cannot declare to the king, but there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days your dream, and the vision of your head upon your bed were these. As for you, O king, thoughts came to your mind while on your bed about what will come to pass after this, and he who reveals secrets has made known to you what will be. But as for me, the secret has not been revealed to me, because I have more wisdom than anyone living. But for our sake, who make known the interpretation to the king, and that you may know the thoughts of your heart, you, O king, were watching, and behold a great image. The great image whose splendor was excellent, stood before you, and its form was awesome. The image head was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, his belly and thighs of bronze, his legs of iron, his feet partly of iron and partly of clay. You watched while a stone was cut out without hands, which struck the image on his feet of iron, of his feet of iron and clay, and broke them in pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were crushed together and became like chaff from the summer threshing floors. The wind carried them away so that no trace of them was found. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This is the dream. Now we would tell the interpretation of it before the king. Hope you listening, man. You, O king, are the king of kings, for the God of heaven has given you a kingdom, power, strength, and glory. And whatever the children of men dwell, or the beasts of the fields and the birds of the heavens, he has given them into your hands and has made you ruler over them all. You are this head of gold, but after you shall arise another kingdom, inferior to yours, then another, a third kingdom of bronze, which shall rule over all earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, as much as iron breaks in pieces and shatters everything. And like iron that crushes, that kingdom will break in pieces and crush all the others. Whereas you saw the feet and toes, partly of potters, clay, and partly of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, yet the strength of the iron shall be in it. Just as you saw the iron mixed with ceramic clay, and as the toes of the feet were partially of iron and partially of clay, so the kingdom shall be partially strong and partially fragile. As you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay, they will mingle, but deceive the men, but they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay. And in the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and in it shall stand forever. Inasmuch as you saw that the stone was cut out of the mountains without hands, and that it broke into pieces, the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God has made known to the kings what will come to pass after this. The dream is certain, and its interpretation is sure. Daniel and his friends promoted. The king, Nebuchadnezzar, fell on his face, prostrate before Daniel, and commanded that they should present an offer and an incense to him. The king answered Daniel and said, truly, your God is the God of gods, the Lord of kings, and revealer of secrets, since you could reveal this secret. Truly, your God is the God of gods, the Lord of kings, and the revealer of secrets. Then the king promoted Daniel. The king promoted Daniel and gave him many great gifts, and he made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief administrator over all the wise men of Babylon. Also Daniel petitioned the king, and he said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon, but Daniel sat in the gate of the king. The image of gold. Nebuchadnezzar the king made the image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and its width 60 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon, and the king Nebuchadnezzar sent word together the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image in which the king Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, or psaltery, and symphony, that all kinds of music you shall fall down and worship the gold image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up, and whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. So at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the horn, flute, harp, and lyre, and symphony with all kinds of music, all the people, nations, language fell down and worshiped the gold image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Daniel's friends disobeyed the king. Therefore, at the time, certain Chaldeans came forward and accused the Jews. They spoke and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. You, O king, you made a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, and symphony with all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the gold image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews who you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not paid due regard to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the gold image which you have set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, gave the command to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the gold image which I have set up? Now, if you are ready at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, and the symphony with all kinds of music, and you fall down and worship the image which I have made, good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If that is the case, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we do not serve your gods, nor will we worship the gold image which you have set up. That's crazy. Satan, fiery trial. Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury. After these dudes, they gave him, they talked to, let it be known to him, like, who the God of all gods is. Peep this. Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and the expression on his face changed towards Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spoke and commanded that they heat the furnace 7 times more than it was usually heated. God, he wanted it extra burn. These dudes, like, you still don't believe. You just said it yourself, though. All right. Then these men were bound to their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and all their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and that's how hot it was. Every day. It killed the man that was supposed to throw him in there. And Abednego fell down bound into the midst of the burning fire fury. Hold on. It said, the flames are hot. All right, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and he rose in haste and spoke, saying to these counselors, did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, true king, look, he asked, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not burned. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Uh-oh. Nebuchadnezzar praises God, right? Nah, too late for that. Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke, saying, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came from the midst of the fire, and the satraps and ministers, governors, and the king's council gathered together, and they saw these men on whose bodies the fire had no power. The hair of their heads was not singed, nor were their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not even on them. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angels and delivered his servants who trusted in him. And they have frustrated the king's words and yielded their bodies, that they should not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that any people, nation, or language who speaks anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, or the Abednego shall be cut into pieces, and their house shall be made of ash heap, because there is no other God who can deliver like this. There is no other God who can deliver like what? Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar's second dream. Nebuchadnezzar the king. To all people, nations, and the languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I thought it good to declare the signs and wonders that Most High God has worked for me. How great are his signs and how mighty is his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting. Oh, this is deep. This fire right here too. How great are his signs and how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominance is from generation to generation. Put some respect on his name. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts on my bed and the vision of my head troubled me. Therefore, I issued a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known to me the interpretation of the dream. Then the magicians and the astrologers and the Chaldeans and the soothsayers came in, and I told them the dream. But they did not make known to me the interpretation. But at last Daniel came before me. His name is Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God. In him is the spirit of the holy God. And I told the dream before him, saying, Belteshazzar, chief of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy God is in you, and no secret troubles you, explain to me the vision of my dream that I have seen, and its interpretation. These were the visions of my head. While on my bed, I was looking, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and its height was great, and the tree grew and became strong. Its height reached to the heavens, and it could be seen to the ends of all the earth. It's a big old tree, right? Its leaves were lovely, its fruit abundant, and it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it. The birds of the heavens dwelt in its branches, and all the flesh was fed from it. I saw in the vision on my head while on my bed, and there was a watcher, a holy one, coming down from the heavens. He cried aloud and said, thus, chop down the tree and cut off its branches. God Almighty. Strip out the leaves and scatter its fruit. Let the beasts get out from underneath it, and the birds from the branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump and the roots in the earth, bound with a band of iron and bronze. In the tender grass of the fields, let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let him graze with the beasts on the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from that of a man. Let him be given to the heart of the beast, and let 7 times pass over him. Seven times pass over him. This decision is by the decree of the watcher, and the sentence by the word of the holy ones, in order that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, gives it to whomever he will, and set over it the lowest of men. This dream, I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen now Belteshazzar, Daniel, Belteshazzar, declare its interpretation. Since all the wise men of the kingdom are not able to make known to me the interpretation, but you are able, for the spirit of the holy God is in you, Daniel explained the second dream. Peep this. This funny right here. I know some of y'all know, this is new to me though, man. But I know some of y'all know about this already, but this crazy. It's deep. It hit different right here. Shout out, Style Pete. What is that? The tree that you saw, which grew and became strong, whose height reached to the heavens, and which could be seen by all the earth, whose leaves were lovely and its fruit abundant, and which was food for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and which branches the birds of the heaven have had their home. It is you, O King, who have grown to become strong, for your greatness has grown and reaches to the heavens, and your dominion to the end of the earth. And inasmuch as the king saw a watcher, a holy one, coming down from the heavens, saying, chop down the tree and destroy it, but leave its stump and roots in the earth, bound with the band of iron and bronze, and the tender grass of the fields, let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let him graze with the beasts of the field till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which has come upon my lord of the king. They shall drive you from men, your dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make you eat grass like oxen. They shall wet you with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over you, till you know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of man and gives it to whomever he chooses. And it is as much as they gave the command to leave the stump and roots of the tree, your kingdom shall be assured to you after you come to know that heaven rules. Therefore, O king, let my advice be acceptable to you. Break off your sins by being righteous, and your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor. Perhaps there may be a lengthening of your prosperity. Man said this big old tree that the Most High decree you cut down is you. And you gotta go and live with that beast. And you gotta eat grass like oxen. That's crazy. So, long story short, you wanted somebody to interpret your dream. You got appeased. Then you turn around and try to kill him. Then you had another dream. After you try to kill him, you try to praise him. Like, oh yeah, again. You want to do nothing and say, you survived this, I'm going to do something else because I still don't believe. Then you have another dream you haven't interpreted. I ain't read too much of it like that, but you know, I'm about to try to see how far I can go with it though. Let's see, there's a lot more in here. I'm gonna finish it up a little later. Nebuchadnezzar's humiliation. All this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar at the end of the 12 months, and he was walking about the royal palace of Babylon. The king spoke, saying that it is not great Babylon that I have built for royal dwelling by my mighty power and the honor of my majesty. While the words were still in the king's mouth, a voice fell from heaven. King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom has departed from you, and they shall drive you from men, and your dwelling shall be with the beasts in the field. They shall make you eat grass like oxen, and 7 times shall pass over you until you know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomever he chooses. That the very hour of the word was fulfilled concerning Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from men and ate grass like oxen. His body was wet with dew of the heaven till his hair had grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like bird claws. Nebuchadnezzar praises God. And at the end of time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and may understanding return to me, and I bless the Most High and praise and honor him who lives forever. For his dominion is in everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is in generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. He does according to his will in the army of the heaven, and and among the inhabitants of the earth. No one can restrain from his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" No one can restrain from his hand, bro. At the same time, my reason returned to me, and for the glory of my kingdom, my honor and splendor returned to me. My counselors and nobles resorted to me. I was restored to my kingdom, and excellence, majesty was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of the heaven. All of those whose works are true, and his ways justice. And those who walk in pride, he is able to put down. Humble them, then. Humble them real quick. It's been 40 minutes. I ain't gonna read y'all to death. If you was able to, I need to finish that too. I need to know what that really is hitting on for real. I'm out. I took notes. I'm not on that. I really supposed to read all the way up to 7. Thing I can make. It's kind of bulky, man. It'll be a little over an hour. Let's see. Belshazzar feast. Belshazzar the king made great feast for 1,000 of his lords and drank wine in the presence of 1,000. While he tasted the wine, Belshazzar gave the command to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple which had been in Jerusalem, that the king and his lords, his wives and the concubines might drink from them. Then they brought the gold vessels that had been taken from the temple of the house of God, which had been in Jerusalem, and the king and his lords, his wives, and the concubines drank from them. They drank wine and praised the God of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone. In the same hour, the fingers of man hand appeared and wrote opposite the lampstand on the plaster of the wall of the king's palace, and the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his hips were loosened, and his knees knocked against each other. The kings cried aloud to bring in the astrologers and the chaldeans and the soothsayers, and the king spoke, saying to the wise men of Babylon, "Whoever reads this writing and tells me its interpretation shall be clothed with purple and have a chain of gold around his neck, and he shall be the third ruler of the kingdom." Now all the king's wise men came, but they could not read the writing and make known to the king the interpretation. Then King Belshazzar was greatly troubled. His countenance was changed, and his lords were astonished. The queen, because of the words of the king and his lords, came to the banquet hall. The queen spoke, saying, "O king, live forever. Do not let your thoughts trouble you, nor let the countenance change. There is a man in your kingdom whom is the spirit of the holy God, and in the days of your father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him. The king Nebuchadnezzar, your father the king, made him chief of the magicians, astrologers, chaldeans, and soothsayers, inasmuch as the excellent spirit, knowledge, understanding, interpreting dreams, solving riddles, and explaining enigmas were found in this Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. 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 I guess that's the proper way to say it. Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and we again the interpretation. The writing on the wall explained. Then Daniel was brought into. Then Daniel was brought in before the king. The king spoke and said to Daniel, "Are you the Daniel who is the one of the captains from Judah, whom my father, the king, brought from Judah? I have heard of you that the Spirit of God is in you, and that the light of the understanding and excellent wisdom are found in you. Now that the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing and make known to me its interpretation, but they could not give me the interpretation of the things. And I heard of you that you can give me interpretations and explain enigmas. Now, if you can read the writing on and make known to me the interpretation, you shall be cloth with purple and have a chain of gold around your neck, and shall be the third ruler of the kingdom." Then Daniel answered and said before the king, "Let your gifts be for yourself." Darn. So I don't want that purple robe or that chain. You know what I'm saying? "And give your rewards to another. Yet I have read the writing to the king and make known to him the interpretation. O king, the Most High God gave Nebuchadnezzar, your father, a kingdom and majesty, glory and honor. And because of their majesty that he gave them, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whoever he wishes, he executed. Whomever he wished, he kept alive. Whomever he wished, he set up. Whomever he wished, he put down. But when his heart was lifted up and his spirit was hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingdom, from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. Then he was driven from the sons of men. His heart was made like beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild donkeys. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of man and appoints over it whomever he chooses. But to his son Belshazzar, why they name so similar? Belteshazzar and Belshazzar. Okay. Have not humbled your heart, although you knew all this, and you lifted yourself up against the Lord of heaven. They have brought the vessels of his house before you, and you and your lords, your wives, and your concubines have drunk wine from them. And you have praised the gods of silver and gold, bronze and iron, wood and stone, which do not see or hear or know, and the God who holds your breath in his hand and owns all your ways, you have not glorified. Then the fingers of the hand were sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the inscription that was written. Meeny, 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 tekel, usher. Meeny, meeny, tekel of Harshin. This is the interpretation of each word. Meaning, God has numbered your kingdom and finished it. Tekel, you have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Perez, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then Belshazzar gave the command, and they clothed Daniel with the purple and put a chain of gold around his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler of the kingdom. Belshazzar fall. That very night, Belshazzar, king of the Chaldeans, was slain. And Darius the Mede received the kingdom being being about 62 years old. The plot against Daniel. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps, to be over the whole kingdom, and over these three governors, whom Daniel was, the satraps might give account to them, so that the king would suffer no loss. This Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and the satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king gave thought to setting him over the whole realm. So the governors and satraps sought to find some charge against Daniel concerning the king, but they could not find no charge of fault, because he was faithful. Nor was there any errors of fault found in him. Then these men said, we shall not find any charge against this Daniel, unless we find it against him concerning the law of God. So these governors and satraps thronged before the kingdom and said thus to him, King Darius, live forever. All the governors of the kingdom, the administrators, the satraps, the counselors, and the advisors have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whoever petition any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of the lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not alter. Therefore, King Darius signed the written decree. Daniel in the lion's den. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open towards Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God, and they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man who petitions any god or man within 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of the lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. So they answered and said before the king that Daniel, who is one of the captains from Judah, does not show due regard for you, O king, or for the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. And the king, when he heard these words, was greatly displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men approached the king and said to the king, know, O king, that it is the law of the Medes and the Persians that no decree or statute which the king establishes may be changed. So the king gave the command, and they brought Daniel to cast him into the den of lions. But the king spoke, saying to Daniel, your God, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. Then a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den. And the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the signets of his lord, that the purpose concerning Daniel might not be changed. Daniel saved from the lions. Now the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no musician were brought before him. Also his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste to the den of the lions. And when he came to the den, And when he came to the den, he cried out with a lamenting voice to Daniel. The king spoke, saying to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angels and shut the lions' mouth, so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you. Now the kings was exceedingly glad for him, and they commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel has taken up out of the den, and no injury. So Daniel was taken up out of the den and had no injury whatsoever. Whatever was found on him, because he believed in his God. Darius honors God. And the king God commanded that they brought those men who had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of the lions. Their children and their wives and the lions overpowered them, and broke all their bones to pieces before they ever came to the bottom of the den. So all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. His kingdom is one. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. And he delivers and rescues, and he works signs of wonders in heaven and on earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lion. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus and Persia. Visions of the four beasts. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and vision of his head while on his bed. When he wrote down the dream telling the main facts, Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heavens were stirring up the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. The first was like a lion and had eagle wings. I watched till his wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man. And the man's heart was given to it. And suddenly another beast, a second like a bear, it was raised up on one side and had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And they said thus to it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and there was another like a leopard, which had on his back 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth, and it was devouring, breaking into pieces, and trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one. There was another horn, a little one. I read that twice, excuse me. Coming up among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out by the roots. And there in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and the mouth speaking pompous words. Vision of the Ancient of Days. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, his wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from him. Hold on, and came forth from before him. Thousands of thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 were 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were open. I watched them because of the sound of the pompous words which the horn was speaking. I watched till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I was watching in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man. Coming with the clouds of heaven, he came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Then to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. Daniel vision interpreted. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit within my body, and the vision of my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by and asked him the truth for all of this. So he told me and made known to me the interpretation of these things. The interpretation of these things. Those great beasts, which are four kings which arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I wished to know the truth about the four beasts, which was different from all the others, exceeding dreadful, with his teeth of iron and his nails of bronze, which devoured, broken in pieces, and trampled in residue with his feet. And then 10 horns that were on his head, and the other horns which came up, before which these three fell, namely their horn, which had eyes and a mouth which spoke pompous words, whose appearance was greater than his fellows. I was watching, and the same horn was making war against the saints and prevailing against them until the Ancient of Days came. And the judgment was made in favor of the saints of the Most High, and the time came for the saints to possess the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, trampling and breaking into pieces. The 10 horns are 10 kings who shall arise from this kingdom, and another shall arise after them. He shall be different from the first one, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak pompous words against the Most High. Shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall attempt to change times and laws. Then the saints shall be given into the hands for a time, and times, and half a time. But the court shall be seated, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy for him. Then the kingdom and dominion, and the greatest of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people. The saints of the Most High, his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. This is the end of the account. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly troubled me, and my countenance changed, but I kept the matter of my heart. And that's where I'm going to stop at right there. Blessed be to God. I bless the God. In Jesus' name I pray. Yahoo. Amen. If you hate your life, it's okay, man. You don't gotta treat nobody bad about it. You're still here. Still immortal. Stay faithful to God. You shall not get burned in the fiery fury. In the fury furnace, excuse me. You don't want to be living 7 times. You know what I'm saying? With the beast eating grass, man. You don't want that. Man, you heard you was around, you heard all this. You know what it is. You better get some act right. Put some respect on Yahweh's name. The heavens reign dominance over and over. Have a great day, yo. So what? So what you hate life? And so what? Make me hate it. I don't care. I'm immortal. Nah, you doing me a favor. Lord, tell me why. I don't want to die. Shout out. How you gonna have it your way and you don't want to die? It's impossible. You better get in the gutter. You don't forget where you come. You better get back to the gutter. You better get back to the hatred. How you gonna hate somebody else? You need to be hating your own life. I don't know if that makes sense. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy, look, but it makes sense though. I don't know, man. Man, you need to be hating your own life, bro. Don't be hating me. Now get out here and do something and hate your life some more. Stay out of trouble. Go be bored. Read a book. Hate it. And hate it while you're doing it. Stay out of harm's way and hate it while you're doing it. Stay broke and hate it while you're doing it. I don't know, man. I was just, look, if I had, look, I'm going to be here. I know that. I'm gonna be here though. I ain't going nowhere. And I'll take the little bit I got that I hate so much. And look, I ain't going nowhere though. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't making no noise. And I'ma hate it real good doing so too. Nah, this stuff. Hey, I mean, look. You think drinking from a cup of gold, eating from your silver spoon is gonna make you live your life, like enjoy your life to the fullest? You wanna love life till you lose it, right? Huh? You see me, I got all these cuts. I got so bored, I just was cutting it up. Got all these cuts in my eyebrows. 4 cuts in my eyebrows. I'm past wilding now. You flagrant foul. I'm ejecting the mile, nigga. Y'all just better hope that I gracefully smile loud, like. I just messing with you all, man. Have a good day, though. And hate it while you're doing it. Yeah, if that makes sense. See you next time. I love the hate that I love to hate living my life. Yeah, that might be a thing. And blessed is God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Blessed be God of the heavens. You did.